one of the 42 ideals of Ma'at. My mother is nature. My father is time. I am a Neski queen.
Okay. Hey, Baltimore, we are back. And episode 16, I do believe, is in full effect right here on this Thursday. Today is May the, excuse me for forgetting, guys. I had a busy day. What's the day, Eddie? It's one of them, right? It's May 20 something. You know what I mean? It's May 23rd, 2024. You know what I mean? It's me, the girl, and Nesky. And we are back for another episode of Be More Mindful. And despite the challenges of today, guys, we're going to keep it going and we're going to keep it smiling. We're going to keep it laughing because that's what this show is really all about. It's about, being more mindful of yourself and your whereabouts and how to conduct yourself and just how to be a better you. So,
hey, yo, Neski.
Yes.
Hey, yo, I was about to start meditating off that.
Yeah. That's the mood I'm looking for. That's the vibe.
Nature.
Yeah.
44
So, with that being said, Baltimore, for those of you who have never joined the show, the guidelines for the show is quite easy. If you can follow the banner, scrolling across the screen, LOVE, remember those letters, and you can conduct yourselves in a manner that will allow you to enjoy this conversation. And my guest tonight is someone I'm so happy to have on, guys. This is a funny guy, and right now, hey, I really do need a laugh. So we're going to give it up for my guy, Eddie COLSON. He's a comedian from Baltimore. He's doing big things, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I got to say, Eddie, go on and get a word with you about, more importantly, let them know how what you do help you deal with mental and social barriers.
Mental and social barriers?
Or.
Okay, I mean, mentally, I feel like I'm good. Socially, though. Whew.
Yeah, I can imagine how many friends you really got.
Mentally, whew. No, I mean, I'm not like I'm actually very spiritual, but I don't talk about it all the time. But I'm really into like frequency and vibrations and stuff, and I kind of just think that like a lot of times when things happen and we feel that emotion, we can always look at the negative side of things, or we can look at the negative and the positive things, and then it kind of cancels each other's out, and then you realize that life is happening for you and not to you.
I like that. Ooh. Oh, a little deep there for you. That wasn't funny. That was real deep.
Oh yeah, you wasn't expecting that. Life is happening for you, baby. Everything is a lesson.
I love it. Look, I'm feeling all of that. Snacks, all of that. So, guys, we're gonna get right into it. As y'all all know, Be More Mindful podcast is an open forum to have conversation about mental and social barriers, and it also brings awareness to the cultural arts. And so, we have conversation about how those cultural arts can also help cope with any social and mental barriers. So, that's a little spiel coming from a comedian. How what I'm saying, this thing all go. And we're gonna jump right into today's topic, which is a part two. As you guys all know, I told you that I was going to start doing part one and part two because the conversations were getting so good and so deep. It'd be like at the end of the show, I go back and watch it 20 times. And I'm like, man, I want to talk about it some more. So Eddie's joining us for part two, but because I didn't have part one, I guess he's joining me for part one and two. In the meanwhile, we're going to get into the subject of today. It's very simple. Episode 16, Mirror on the Wall, part one and two. All right. We're going to go over the quote. As you guys know, the show simply goes in a short itinerary. I show the flyer with a quote, and we're going to discuss the quote, and we're just going to get some feedback on it and pertaining to the topic. So, the quote is by a gentleman by the name of Dan Pierce. It says, mirrors have three purposes: to show you who you are, to show you who you were, and to show you who you want to be. Now, I found that very, 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 very interesting because when we tend to look in the mirror, for me, most of the times we think 2D, we think two dimensional. You see me in a reflection, but Dan was able to, go deeper into what that reflection reveals, and he simply says it shows, who you are now, or who you were in the past, and who you want to be. And I definitely can identify with that, especially as an up and coming podcast host and starting, being a small business owner and working in the community and things. It's like looking at the reasons why I pursue these things so passionately is because of how I grew up and the things that I went through and experiences I had, whether they were traumatic or, happy in memory. Just looking at all of that, gives me the passion that drives to do these things. I give poetry to give words a meaning, give it voice, give thoughts voice. I work in the community to give back, to give back from where I came from, and just looking at understanding that how true what he says, because at the end of the day, even with this podcast, I'm looking to see growth. I'm looking to see where I want to be. Like I see me in the future, having a much better light and sound system, and just really going all in. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Eddie, what do you think? Dan, I mean, what do you
I
think,
feel like
Dan?
Aneski, I feel like you're trying to set me up, yo.
Why you say that?
Cause yo, what type of Confucius? What kind? Confucius says mirror is both past and present. And what?
Deep, he got deep. Yeah,
What?
man. I mean, what you
I thought
think? Hey, listen.
I thought this show was about me.
It is about you. It is. So it's about you. And let's
Listen,
apply that to you. I mean, I'm just saying, as a comedian, do you, I mean, honestly, let's go and get into it. Growing up, did you really, was that your chosen field? Did you be like, yo, did you look at me and be like, yo, I know I'm gonna end up being a bald head funny guy?
yo, I mean, honestly, yo, it kind of fell in my lap, the comedy thing. In high school, I definitely was like, oh, I want to be on TV. I want to be like in movies. I thought I was going to be a singer, like Usher. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, because I can sing.
Okay, a little bit. You got a little Jonas here, but it don't okay.
I smoke a lot now, so. But like, I smoke a lot of weed now. It's not. But nah, middle school, I won a talent show. Usher, you remind me of a girl. You remind me of a girl.
That's light skinned people. See?
Yeah, yo, I was.
My oldest in elementary won a talent show for Chris Brown. Yo, every girl. No, he was singing with you. Every girl thought he was pointing at with you. They was like, oh, point at me.
Yeah, that's how I was. That's exactly how I was. What?
Okay. So that's what you saw when you looked in the mirror. You saw Usher.
Well, I'm not gonna say I saw Usher because that sounds kind of. See, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this interview. Like, what are you trying to do in that? You like you put some type of Confucius thing out there. Hey, what does this mean to you? I don't know, Aneski. Like, what do you want from me right now?
Listen, yo? I want everything. I want everything you give it. You got it. You got
and
it.
Then you said, yo. Then you said, when you look in the mirror, you see Usher. Come on, yo. What are you trying to do? You gonna post this? This going out in the world?
It's actually live stream. You already know. Can't take it back. You can't take it back.
Oh.
Yo, this is why I love having a variety of guests on the show. And I mean, your energy is so positive and so up there. I just needed, I just wanted to, I wanted my fan base to get a whiff for you, and you're doing some great things. So, it's definitely a great show so far. I'm having a ball. I hope everybody watches it.
I mean, when it comes to the mirror thing, I mean, like, I thought I was gonna be a singer. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be a singer, or a rapper. Because I can rap too. Yo, I could do it all.
Hey.
What can't I do? You know what I'm saying?
Don't
like, I don't.
You have people rap me. Now watch your DM. Why'd you DM?
So like but then when I started doing real estate, I wanted to get into pharmacy because I wanted to help people. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, I want to like save people, but I want to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like I want to make a lot of money and I want to save people. And I didn't want to like, because there's some people they want to save people, but they don't make no money. And then there's some people who they make a lot of money, but they don't save nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. And then I found out that you got to go to school for 8 years, and I was like, nope. And then and then I was like, I'm gonna be a pharmacist. That's 6 years. I was just like, all right, just 2 years less. And then I started working at a pharmacy, and I ain't like it there either because people kept cursing me out because they didn't mess with, their insurance was messed up, and they yelling at me, and I don't know what to say because it's like, this is your medicine. It's not like food where it's like, oh, like you take it long on my food. Like, no, this is a $7 pill, and I don't know what you know what I'm saying? And it's like life or death. So I was like, I don't like this either. And then so then I started doing.
That's so funny. I've been a pharmacist. I was a pharmacy tech for 2 years. Same experience. That's why it's extra funny on the inside. Yeah, I got cussed out for a dog medication one time. Like their dog had diabetes. I was like, I don't know. That's not like it. Poor little dog, he's gonna die.
I was like, yo, I don't. What do you want me to? I don't know what to do. I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Like I know it's and that shit is. Dang.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Yeah. That's when I first really learned. That was my first when I learned that pharmacy is not about the saving lives part. They're part of the people that make money and don't save lives.
Exactly. So then I was like, all right. So then I was like, because I ain't want to say it.
So listen, it's what it's all about. It's open forum. It's conversation.
So then I was like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I started reading this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I feel like if you really want to save people, help people, and make a lot of money, entrepreneurship is great. But you don't want to just be an entrepreneur. You want to actually employ people. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So like, that was that's I'm like, all right, bet. Like I want to help people get jobs. I want like people have 6 figures and help people make millions of dollars. And then I'd be the one at the top of the pyramid making billions. You know what I'm saying? Right. But still helping people at the same time. But really just helping myself more so. And like, so like,
this is the part where you're looking in the mirror and you're seeing yourself in the future.
Okay, that's the future. That
was that part. That was the connection there.
Okay, cool. So then I was like, oh, like, I'm doing real estate. I start doing pretty good in real estate. And I start to like, be able to kind of like back away a little bit. And, I'm not like 50, 60, 70 years old. I don't believe in retirement. So I was just like, I want to do more things. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what's a good profession that's going to attract a lot of women? And I was just like, comedy.
That was
on a real serious note, I always wanted to have a lot of women. So no. I always wanted to be on TV. I always wanted to do TV stuff. Like I remember when as a kid, I was watching Barney. I was like, I want to be one of them kids, but probably shouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to be on TV, right? So I was just like, now I can start doing TV stuff. So I started learning about acting. I got into acting, started getting jobs, and I started getting on set. And like, I'm on this show called New York Homicide. I swear, New York is the only city that pays me when it comes to acting. Nobody pays me in Baltimore. I try to get it, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to hire me, but in New York, they love me in New York.
Wow.
I'm getting jobs in New York.
Did they make you say Baltimore?
Nah.
They don't make you say sneaker or tennis or dog?
No, they were just like, thank God you don't talk like that. That's what they said. Usually what they say. It's like
that part. That's funny. I'm telling you, this is hilarious. I will go back. See, this is one of the shows that I'm gonna go back and watch 50 times. This is not.
So yeah, I'm on set, and I'm making like this producer laugh, and she's laughing. She's just like, "So you're a comedian, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." She was like, "Really? You remind me of like a bunch of comedians I know, because this is a producer lady." So I was like,
Mm.
"Oh, okay." It didn't really click to me. And then there's this girl that I was hollering at, and she, like, you know what I'm saying, she was on set too, and she was feeling me. And I feel like Cameron right now with the drink, like I'm about to like what? What? I swear I'm not on that type. Like it was a mutual. She was, matter of fact, she came on to me. I ain't even so let's not.
No.
It's a weird time we living in right now. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
they
she
get
was,
that.
she was like, "Oh, you have comedic timing. I only date comedians." And see the connection? See, so that was her like flirting some more. And then she was like, "Yeah, like I only date comedians. You should think about doing comedy, blah 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 blah." And then I was like,
Wow.
"Huh, that's funny." The producer just said the same thing. Then I went to another set, another booking the same weekend, and this Jamaican dude was just like, "Eddie, you're really funny. You should really think about doing comedy." And then I was like, "Damn, that's three people." So in my mind, I'm like, "That's God, right? Three
Yeah.
people in one weekend telling me I should do comedy." So when I came back to Baltimore, I looked up how to be a stand-up comedian, and yeah,
They
that was
just
that.
say, what was the rules? Like you looked it up. Break that down real quick. Did you
The
like
two
just
things that it told me to do, the two things that I took was Jerry Seinfeld said, "Write jokes every day." So he
mm,
wrote a joke every day, and on the calendar he would put like a line on like Sunday, and then Monday he'll put another line,
mm,
and then Tuesday put another line. So that way you'll have a whole line. And he tried not to break the line.
yeah,
So then um
consistency.
and then the other one was to just do comedy every night.
Right.
Go to open mics every night and just work. So that's what I do. I just every day I just write a joke, and then I go to open mic every night, and then what I mean, and then I just you know so
Excuse me, traffic. I was
so
laughing.
yeah, I
I
see three
laughed
people.
all of the moisture out of my throat. You're hilarious. Thank goodness that you did listen to them three people because you definitely are funny. I definitely feel like you're following your purpose and man, that was dope. That was like just a dope. That was dope. I like that. So yeah,
Thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Be more, Baltimore. Be more mindful what you do when you're passionate about something. You be consistent with it. You guys hear me talk about that all the time about being consistent. Because these are the habits that you're creating. And these habits is going to be, how you come off, how your light shines. So, think about that. Find something positive to be consistent about. So yeah, Eddie, that wraps up the first segment, which is just simply the topic of the show.
That
Good
was
job.
quick. That's what's up. All right, man. I get to go smoke. I thought we was gonna be here for hours,
Well,
yo.
listen, it's not over, but this is
Oh,
an open forum. If you want to smoke, I don't. This is an open forum. It's
I
free
don't smoke in
forum.
my house, unfortunately.
But see,
Yeah.
yeah, I do. I understand. I respect that. I know, right? So yeah, but yeah, this is an open forum, so I don't hold back. As long as you're not doing something really serious
Like,
and detrimental, please. I just left out a poem. I've been saying that a poem has been trying to drop in my heart, and I walked in the store, and the most, weirdest that it ticked me off. Someone that I knew growing up. I watched them grow up, and just to see them in there, and I heard them, and they're younger than me, about 10 years or so. And they said, "Can I get a stem and a cheap lighter?" And my heart broke. I was just like, what I mean, when does it stop? Like, it's just so frustrating to see, how low things can get. But anyway,
I feel you.
we're going into the next segment, which I call experts versus experiences. So, as you all know, here at Full Authors Media Network, we do not, we nowhere near try to give off that we have any degrees, certificates, or certified for anything. So the conversation, the things that are talked about in this show are just for information purposes. None of this is to be taken from therapeutic or anything advice. I'm not advising anyone. So when we have these conversations, please, it's just for entertainment, conversation, entertainment, and education, so we can get to know each other and love each other more. So, Experts versus experiences. With I take a article that I've read from some experts on mental social health, and I compare it with our experiences. And because sometimes I'm trying to figure out, do these people that get paid the big bucks know what they really talking about? And also, if so, how can I break it down so that my people can understand what they're saying and we can become, better at what we're doing. So today's article comes from Forbes magazine, and it's 8 reasons scientists say you should practice self-love at work, right? And the reason why I chose that is because especially recently, like I went back into the workforce, and I kind of like was being real hard on myself at the beginning because of course when you're new and you have managers who are trying to be, consistent about their job, the first thing they want to say is, oh well, you got to do this, or else you don't have to work here, or maybe you're not fit for this job. So when I first started out, I was just like have under so much pressure, to try to, make sure that I'm considered worthy of the job. And then I kind of mellowed myself down and said, wait a minute, because I'm doing the best I can. And that's the best I can do. Like it doesn't get not nobody. I don't care what your numbers and your algorithms and all that stuff say and do. I'm human, and I'm giving my human all. And I started not being so hard on myself, and how I communicate with myself about what I'm doing at work and the things that are happening at work. So anyway, back to the article. All right. In Forbes magazine, they had this article about why being self love is important in the job. And this particular um, part I'm going to read says neuroscientists have found that self love in place of self judgment motivates you to get back in the saddle. In the aftermath of a career setback, such as a missed promotion, failure to meet a critical deadline, or job loss, self condemnation is like fighting the fire department when your house is on fire. So I'm like, these experts is kind of a bit smart on this one, because I did notice that, when I was, being hard on myself, now just you got to do better and blah, blah, blah. I was still like dreading going to work and not, and not really giving. As soon as I would run into a challenge, I was giving up. You feel me? So I found out that when I started saying, you know what, hey, you're doing the best you can do, and boom, and what, I'm rising up the tier, and I realized that going to work was just a little bit more motivated. You know what, hey, I'm going here and give my best. That's all I can do. You know what I mean? So I mean, I've accounted that. That's just the most recent, but I haven't been been counting that all of my life. In fact, there was a conversation that my husband and I used to, because I used to say I'm motivating myself, because I used to be like, you gotta get yourself together, you gotta fucking up, got your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you talking to yourself like that? I'm like, it's motivating me, And the whole time, I wasn't really motivating myself in a positive way, so therefore, the motivation was not being productive. I was actually tearing myself down from the inside out. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, this is good, with you being a comedian, Eddie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what, how do you feel about what these neuroscientists are saying about on the job self love? How you're communicating with yourself, when you're in situations on the job. I'm pretty
I was
sure.
joking earlier. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I know. Go
I was
ahead.
I was saying I was joking earlier about all this stuff, but this is funny. This is actually like perfect conversation, because this is like I'm really into all this stuff. I'm into all of this
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff, like frequency. Like I said, I'm really into law of attraction. One of my favorite books is the Spiritual Laws. And then you also have what do you call it? The Hermetic Laws, which is
Yeah.
exactly the same thing. It's
Yes.
the exact same thing. But
Yeah.
um, it's with like the frequency and all that stuff, you dive into frequency, like discipline and being better and progress is self-love. Like going to the gym is self-love. Like saying not to eat certain things is self-love. But when you fall short, which is like kind of inevitable,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're used to operating at a certain habit, and then you
Mm-hmm.
try to drastically change something to be something that you're not used to, um, it's easy to revert. So what they say in one of my mantras in the 12-step program, that they have in a lot, AA, Marijuana
Mm-hmm.
Anonymous,
Yeah.
and NA, Narcotic, and all of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
is progress over perfection. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my mantras, is progress over perfection. So it's like, and then like slow progress is better than no progress, and a lot of times it's better than fast progress. Because when
Right.
you try to progress fast, it's just like because you ain't used to it, and then boom, next thing you know, now you down on yourself, like this is you talking to yourself because I never say this. You like Aneska, you ain't, cause
Right,
so
right.
so
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta learn how to chain around
You
like
said
L stands for lessons, not losses. You feel me? It's
that
all a
part.
lesson, and like I just said, life is happening for you, not to you. So every time something bad happens, you just like, huh. All right, guys. So next time I need to do okay. All right, yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. Why
Yeah,
not? Okay.
yeah,
All right, we're going. All right, hey, like,
yeah, yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I'm
I
still a
mean,
part of God. I'm still God's son. You feel me? Like
yeah,
there's,
that's how you gotta
you know
do
what I'm saying?
it.
Like, you feel me? Like I'm still, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, he died for my sins. I'm all right.
Yeah,
Like, no, that's
yeah,
not, no,
yeah.
no, but that, yeah, I agree totally. Like, I think that's something that we need to really get back into our culture because it's like, we so used to seeing negative and talking negative, we don't even realize that we be negative to ourselves and all that is breeding negative, and then when our children grow up to be all nasty and negative, we talking about it's the music. No, it's you. It's your negative. You know what I mean? Keep talking about he looked like his daddy. So what? His daddy looked good enough for you to make the baby with. The daddy looked good, so the baby looked good. So we need to make sure that we are learning how to talk not just to others but to ourselves first. Because you got to, if you talk to yourself, a certain way, then you learn how to talk to others that way because you tend to want to treat people how you want to be treated. And
Exactly.
so
What's the first law? We are all one.
yeah, we are all
We are
one.
all one. You
We
just
all
me and
one.
I am you, and we are all one organism living together. And if you raise your frequency, then you can be the head of God and not the ass of God.
That part. See? And that's what I'm talking about. Baltimore, you better pay attention. We are getting ready to elevate on a whole nother level. So y'all might as well jump on this wave, get on this vibe, level up, you know what I mean? Because the frequencies is up there and we just out here, helping each other, raising each other, bringing the village effect back, you know what I mean? And it's important, so make sure, going back to the article, if you're at work and you're struggling and you're being down on yourself, you're going to produce that type of work. That's going to come out in your work. You're not going to perform well. You're going to have an attitude. You know what I'm saying? And things are going to feel like things are caving in, but it's not. It's in your mental. Change your mindset.
As
Talk to
above,
yourself
so
better.
below. As within, so without, brother.
So it works just like that. I didn't even know you was that spiritual, yo, bro. You just showed a whole nother side.
Hey yo,
So you
why? Because I don't
funny,
have I
you
don't got the crystals. I don't have
know.
the ox out.
Well,
What's up, Queen?
you
Because I
kind
don't
of
call
got
you
like a
Queen.
crystal ball. But no, I'm just saying. Light skinned people, yeah, they used to say that. Trying to tell you. But yeah, so I mean, look, it's a good show. We're gonna keep it moving. I mean, Eddie, you got anything else to add to that? I mean, you got anything else you want to
Oh,
say?
I got this real important thing I want to share with y'all. This is real important. I need y'all to listen. All right, come in a little closer. May 26th, Sunday, before Memorial Day, I got a crazy comedy show. You want to really raise your frequency? What you thought I was just going to not talk about this and that's
No, I was gonna give
you
you
know what I'm saying?
platform. You
My
jump the gun.
audience is
Go
watching.
ahead.
I got them. Of course, this is about me.
Yes, it
So
is.
May 26th
Yeah, that's just cool.
at Corinthians. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I think
definitely gonna be there. I'm in the
yeah,
building.
come through.
Me too.
Yeah. There's one
Yep.
at 7, one at 9. You
I'm
got the
yeah, I'm gonna
flyer?
be
Maybe
at
you
7 o'clock
post it.
for
I don't know.
Sunday. I don't be out there for 9 o'clock on Sundays.
You
That's
said
for
you
the
ain't
young
coming out.
folks. I said I'm coming to the 7 o'clock show. I
Okay.
don't be out there for 9 o'clock on Sundays. That's for the young folk.
Well, you ain't got work the next day. It's Memorial Day.
No, I probably got work the next day. I don't know.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. I work for Jeff Bezos, sort of kind. I work. So I actually, again, I always bring because I work for a small business. That drives.
That for Amazon, right?
Yeah. But it's a DSP. So again, I'm always trying to get back to the community. So even in my work, I'm giving back because we're actually the safest DSP in the district. So um, let me get
Don't
this
you,
over
yo,
with.
don't y'all love it when people
So
just
you know
yell
what
out
they
letters like
say.
you're supposed to know what them letters mean?
That delivery service partner.
You know, the LSA, the MVA, the what's it stand for?
Delivery service partner.
Okay, delivery service partner. Just for
Yeah,
y'all, for people that was on the same wave, cause I ain't know
yeah,
what she was doing.
yeah, yeah. Excuse me. Hold on, I have an intruder. Y'all let this person escape. He said, "Look."
Was you at the jail? Somebody
Something like
escaped.
that. And he's just an intruder. He's always wants to be a part of something in my room. This is
Yo, that
funny.
was wild what Cameron did though, man.
Oh man, what you said? I don't
Yo,
go. See,
did you notice that his hand was shaking up when he was drinking? And then I'm thinking, okay, he's nervous, so he's not gonna say something stupid. Soon after he said, he was like, all right, what? What?
That's why I refuse to talk. I'm already under fire just having the conversations I'm having. If I go into politics and get to talking about, what I'm saying, current events, I'm dead. I'm getting canceled. The first show is going to it.
Hey yo, Shorty that was interviewing him, she was like, she was like, she was trying not to shake her head, but she was like,
We don't know no better. Some of them just don't. So,
dang,
bottom line, thank y'all for joining us. Episode 16. We ready to wrap it up. It was a great conversation for those of you who want to go back and play it back. Make sure you take from this the number one thing, which is the man in the mirror. When you're looking at that person, you have to be prepared to talk the way the way that's going to produce positive energy, and so you have to be able to speak well to yourself. Be more mindful about the way you speak to yourself and more so the way you speak to others. So I'm going to leave y'all with my mindful thought. And my mindful thought is going to come from two quotes, two proverbs. Buddha, the first one is from Buddha. Buddha says, whatever words we utter should be chosen with care. And then Buddha also says, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Okay? So I said it to say, when it comes time to have
what does that
conversations,
mean, Aneski? What's that?
just
What's
mean simply better than
that?
better than 1,000. Before I say 1,000 nasty, before I call you all kinds of N words and V's and get the flapping and speaking negative, I come out better speaking one word of peace. And so again, we got to practice that on ourselves. We can't learn how to talk to others until we learn how to talk to ourselves. So
You
if
might
you
like,
got
there's this book called, is it Change, it's, I forget, it's a book, I think it's Lao Tzu or something, or Confucius, one of them. And
okay,
it was supposed to be all this. I was just like, oh, I want to be wisdom, you know what I'm saying? And so I'll read the book of wisdom. Like one little thing is just like you sitting there for an hour trying to understand what it means. You might like that book.
very
If you like
simple. I do.
I see you like that type
I'm
of
an
stuff.
enigma myself. So
I see you like that type of
your
stuff. You like
enigma
that
is
little.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, the first one was straight to the point. Whatever words we utter should be chosen
All
with
right,
care.
repeat it. Say it one more time, y'all, and then y'all
Do it.
comment if you understood what she just said.
Make sure you tell me if y'all get this. Whatever words we utter should be chosen with care. And then, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Again, before you get to talking to yourself all crazy and cuckoo, just look at yourself and say, I am human. I'm human. I'm allowed to not be okay. I'm allowed to make mistakes. But more importantly, I'm allowed to take this as a lesson and do better. And I'm going to be more mindful of how I talk to myself, how I treat myself, and it's going to outflow to how I treat others. It might be a lot. Find your own way of saying it, but make sure you put it into practice. Check, even if you got to put a calendar up every day and say how many days you said something nice to yourself. Do that, and that is
You
my
know what,
mind.
Aneski? I apologize. After you said it again, it made sense. I should have chose a sweeter word. I chose all these hollow words. I should have.
You should just say peace.
I should have chose a word of peace. So I
There you go.
apologize,
But
Aneski.
no, go ahead, Eddie. Leave us with your mindful thought. Leave us with your mindful thought, and also let everyone know where they can follow you, so they can make sure they support. And all you guys, after y'all go to him, make sure y'all go on Instagram and follow him right away and get tickets for this Sunday because I'm going to be in the building. Go ahead, Eddie, take us out.
All right. If the my all right, this is my quote. All right. If you can make her giggle, you can make her wiggle. You thought she was the only one. You thought you thought she was the only one that could. Yeah. That,
If
I'm gonna
Buddha was
leave it
here,
at
if only Buddha was here.
that. Yo,
He'd be like,
Buddha
let me
don't
go
got
get
nothing
it.
on that.
That's for the
Buddha
that's
ain't
for
never
the
say
book.
nothing as fly as that. That was
Come on, Eddie. Let them know where to follow you at so we can make sure we get you some followers and
oh
we gonna
yeah, I
make sure
need
we
that.
find somebody that's gonna pay you in Baltimore to do some.
Yeah. COLSON 090. That's COLSON 090. One day I might change that. But I it was AIM. I had AIM, instant messenger, and I had all my handles. Yeah, but it's on everything. Twitter, COLSON 090, yo. COL. You see the name, my last name
Yeah.
at the COLSON, and then the number 090 at the
Y'all
end.
get that. Y'all guys, make sure y'all follow my guy. He is hilarious. And ladies, I'm pretty sure if y'all watching it, according to his quote, y'all might be wiggling. I don't know what that means for y'all, but it'll make his quote stand true. So, that's the mindful thought of the evening from Eddie. And you guys know mine again. Talk nice to yourself. I guess so now I answer my phone and say talk nice to me because I want people to understand that's what I want and that's what I'm gonna give myself and I'm gonna give it to y'all. I love y'all, Baltimore. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all click, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. And I'm out. Are you